What is up, folks? NYKF31 here. Well, the title pretty much says it all. Will NYKF31 ever win a game of Madden ever again? Remember that glorious 5-0 start? Things were going well, Jets were on top. A run and shoot offense, firing, defense doing its thing. Well, we have completely hit the skids. I have lost 4 games in a row. From 5-0 to 5-4. Now, is that just ridiculous or what? I mean, nothing has gone right. A bad play call here and there, a dropped INT or 2 here and there. The injury bug has cost me 2 starters on defense. 2 very good starters. He's got Marlon Jackson hurt. He's got a heck of an offense. He's got Eli Manning. He's got Wes Welker. Steve Johnson, Heath Miller, Jason Avant, CJ Spiller. He's got a pretty good offense. But yeah. Now, have you ever had that happen to you where nothing just seems to work out and you just find ways to lose games? And then it starts to get into your head, you start thinking too much. And then it starts to become a self-fulfilling prophecy where you start to find ways to lose games.
Throws it to the middle.
And then it gets all mental. You just gotta try to keep yourself positive, keep yourself focused, and say, you know what, I'm gonna break out of this sooner or later. It's just a matter of when. But while you're going through it, it just sucks. And of course, in league play, this is really a laggy game. EA servers are just going on the freaking offensive. I think they're starting to neglect the online franchise servers a little bit. Hopefully they're using those resources towards Madden 13. But this game was pretty laggy for most of the first half and didn't really start to smooth out until deep into the third quarter. But anyhow, I'm not quite sure how to put my finger on it. I mean, my offense is clicking very nicely. Game before this, Sanchez was balling through for 400 yards. And in this one, you know, the shoot does its thing. But my pass coverage has just completely vanished this season. I mean, Revis has just been invisible. And when he's had opportunities to make drive-killing or game-changing plays, he hasn't made them. He's either whiffed and allowed the completion, or went for a bat down when he could have gone for an INT, or has dropped the INT. And that's been the theme of my pass defense for the past 5 games. But thankfully, starting out 5-0 did at least give me a leg up on the division. I'm still in first place because I have tiebreaker based on division record. So thank goodness for small miracles, I guess.
And he just throws this one out of bounds.
But I'm just trying to stay positive in, you know, AIM. We have a AIM group where we have IM chats and whatnot. I'm pretty sarcastic, and I say things like I'm going to go from 5-0 to 5-11. I don't really mean that. I'm just, you know, doing a little bit of gallows humor. I know I'll win a game again. Hopefully I'll win more than one game again. Just gotta weather this storm.
He's wrestled down.
Like right there, just a little bit late on the pass rush, pass gets through. Run defense has been doing really well. I got a monstrous front 4, and David Harris is having a pretty good season. But the pass coverage is just a little bit off. A little bit off. And then I start tinkering around too much. Like right here. Revis is right there to make the play that would have forced a 4th down, and he misses the tackle. Good move by Spiller, but you know, I expect Revis to make those kind of plays. And he's been playing like that all season long. I think we have another play like this on this drive also.
Still looking for an open man.
You know, tough throw, even if that's an Eli throw. But those throws are getting through, even though I had Harris drop it back into that deep middle zone. Kyle Wilson again. A possible INT attempt, and if he does it, that kills the drive and changes the game. But I'm just not getting those game-changing plays on pass defense.
So the score now.
And it's frustrating because other people seem to get them against me.
Going down the middle with it.
And here's my second-year receiver, AC Poe, who's having a monster second season. He's just an explosive downfield and yard after the catch player, boy. He's got a decent potential. Here my spy glitches out and goes right into the blocker. I hope they fix that for Madden 13. And again, that extends another drive. That happened twice this game. So I just got to keep on fighting. There, I hit stick too early. I think it's because of the lag. I usually don't do that. But everything's a little bit off because of the lag. But you know, both players have to do the same thing. And he's executing his game plan pretty well too. So, in a league like this where everyone's good, you just gotta try to keep things positive and go with the flow, because
looking for a man.
Goes right over Revis, heck of a throw. But what I was gonna say, because in between games I try to tinker and practice in ranked games, but ranked games really aren't that much competition. Your ranked games are pretty much a waste of time, really. Because when you think about it, if you have any kind of sense and game plan at all, you should win between 55 and 60% of your ranked games at a bare minimum. Because a large chunk of the online ranked population, let's just say 70% just to put a number on it, are just casual people who want to run around with Vic, call four verts, and bombs away every play. Easy guys to beat. You might occasionally lose 1 or 2 games out of 10 to those kind of people, just because you may run into a game where they just happen to get lucky and a flukish bounce of the ball happens.
The stop was made by Darrelle Revis.
Of course, that's not quite your Madden day, but you should beat those people the vast majority of the time.
The pocket.
You know, between a 95 to 98% clip. Then you'll stumble across the, you know, rare sim ranked gamer, and depending on how good they are, you'll win your fair share of those games. You lose some, you'll win some. You probably win more than you lose on average. And then you have your wannabe tournament players who are cheesers, but they're bad at it. And those guys are pretty easy to beat also, because, you know, they're not good at cheesing. They have a couple of things that they've learned from watching tournament players, and they're trying to, you know, do it. I'm jamming the square button there, but I just couldn't get the pass off. But they're just not quite, you know, up to that master cheeser level. And then you have the master cheesers and glitchers, the guys who are, you know, good tournament style players, and those guys are the headaches. And that's where the bulk of your losses will come from, on average. Even those guys are beatable as well, so the online ranked world doesn't really present much of a true test on a consistent basis. So while I fiddle around with some things there, I got a break there. But as I fiddle around with things, you know, it gives me an idea as to what may potentially work against guys with a brain, but not very often. Boom. Well-timed run blitz there. And I remember Commissioner Zor doing a video talking about how when he was playing one of the builds of Madden 13 at a community event, he commented that the gameplay kind of levels the field between guys who play the game realistically with no, you know, glitches or cheese tactics versus those kind of freewheeling, constant no-huddle tournament type of guys.
Passes out to his right.
which is a positive, certainly. You want to have a game where there's a balance between you don't want to have a game where there's an imbalance between styles of play. You want like a game that will reward you for playing football with some sense. And while I feel that by and large this game does do that, there are instances where, you know, the video game nature of the game comes out. And that's always going to be the case to, you know, some extent. But as you can see here, we are going back and forth.
Still looking for an open man.
Again, the spy glitches out and goes right into the blocker.
Yeah, and the key is
that takes me from a 2nd and long to a 3rd and 2. Luckily, I get the stuff there.
One of the tough things about...
And he's able to make the field goal with a crosswind and lag. Clutch kick there. That's a tough kick. So I'm up against it again.
Patrick Robinson was there to bring...
Sanchez is on pace to pass for 5,000 yards.
31. Gets the carry.
And then we get a holding penalty. Of course I would get the holding penalty. These are the kind of things that happen to you when you're on a losing streak.
Fires a strike to the right.
Penalties happening at the worst time possible. But we recover and hit a play there. And everything is just a fight and a struggle. Usually when a losing streak is broken, it's broken in a way that, you know, makes you earn it. And here I think I'm well on my way to doing that. As I hit that sucker. But nope. I get struck down again. Although Kyle Wilson makes a good play there.
Johnson.
So what should I do? I'm thinking of tweaking some things here and there.
Has a man out to his right.
I mean, I play predominantly zone coverage because I don't trust man coverage. See Kyle Wilson just run himself right into a blocker there? Well, as I was saying, I don't really trust man coverage in football games in general, Madden in particular, because in Madden, there's no gray area in man coverage. A guy is either completely stoned and his route is mirrored, or a guy gets really open. Even with a guy like Revis. Revis won't get, you know, just roasted very often, but even when he gets beat, he gets really beat. And that's why I don't like man coverage. And here's a case where I just outthought myself. Just a stupid play call there. I shouldn't have called that version of cover 2 there. Horrible, horrible, horrible. So you see I'm pressing a little bit. But as I was saying, you know, I just don't like man coverage in video games, football video games, so I don't play it that often. I find the zone much more safer and reliable in general. Guess what we have here? Another holding penalty, and that effectively ends the game, because you see where the ball is at when I complete that pass. I have 3 timeouts left, and there's 12 seconds left. I had a reasonable shot at picking up, especially with this completion here, picking up a chunk of yardage to at least attempt a field goal attempt to get into overtime, but that holding penalty basically ends the game for me. So, that is that.
He's going deep.
This is loss number 4 on the losing streak. And I got a tough game up against Cam Newton and the Panthers, so it's not going to get any easier. I got to somehow right the ship. So, talk to you all later. Peace.
That'll do it from Buffalo. Highlights are next, so stick around.